Hey y'all, welcome. And guess what? Today we're going to be doing some curry chicken with potatoes and carrots. So let's get into it. So here is my chicken that I've cleaned with some salt and vinegar and some lime, and we're going to be seasoning it. So what you saw me add there was a little bit of sea salt. We're going to be adding our seasoning, and that was the black pepper. We're going to add some adobo, and right there that's a salt-free adobo, so it looks like a lot, but it's salt-free adobo that we're going to be adding to this compilation of seasoning. We're also going to be adding some garlic powder to this chicken just to give it that good old goodness, and it's a good flavor with your curry. And of course, I did not have fresh ginger that I normally would put a little bit in there. So what I have is a seasoning with some dried ginger, some ground up pimento, and some garlic powder. And of course, watching the sodium. So that is what I'm adding there. And when I tell you, it is very fragrant and potent. You only need a little, and a little goes a long way. So right there, I'm adding my ground garlic. And to this, I like a little bit of spice. And so I'm going to be adding my own pepper sauce. I'm going to be adding about 2 teaspoons to that. Oh yeah, we want it spicy. And I like my curry spicy. So there goes the 2nd teaspoon that we're going to be adding to this. And then we're going to be adding, I think, the curry powder. This is the curry powder, about 2 tablespoons of that to start off with. And we're going to be adding some fresh herbs. So when I say fresh herbs, I'm talking about scallions. You've got your red and your yellow and your green bell peppers to this. And I'm just going to be mixing everything together to make sure that the herbs are, fairly distributed and that the seasoning is just right. Oh yeah, this is the day before I am going to be cooking this, so I want to make sure that the seasoning is just right on this. And to go back in there, I'm just adding a little bit more curry powder. The seasoning is perfect, but the curry powder is the star of the show, so I want that taste to be present. And so we're just going to mix this one more good time before we put the lid on this. Put this in the refrigerator overnight, and then but tomorrow we're just gonna bring it out and just let it do what it do. So here it is, the next day. We're going to be doing some coleslaw. So I'm just taking some cabbage and I'm shredding it, and that's just taking the knife and just do fine cuts. And then you're going to just have your cabbage slaw, that's what we call it. And you're just going to be making those little ribbons. There's no pretty way of doing it, so there it is. We've got our cabbage, we've got our grated carrots, bell peppers, and some thinly sliced white onions, or the Valdalia onions, and 1 whole plum tomato I've diced up. Oh yeah, this is how I like my coleslaw. All right, give it a try. So here it is. We're adding our mayo to the slaw that we've already started, and we're going to be adding about a 1/2 cup, if that much, about a 1/3 cup of mayo to that. And then we're just going to go ahead and we're going to add some salt, just to even out that sweetness that we're going to be adding along the way. And of course, I like a little bit of black pepper in my coleslaw, so I gotta add just a little bit of that. Oh yeah. So we're gonna add the black pepper, and then I like a sweet coleslaw. Well, fairly sweet, a little bit of tang, and I just like it sweet, spicy, and tangy, and that tang is going to come from your limes. Now I'm going to use a lime and a half, so 1 whole lime cut in half, and I'm going to be using both of those, and then another lime cut in half, and just that 1/2, and I'm just going to be using one of my kitchen gadgets. Oh yeah, because you could squeeze it with your hands, but why would you want to do that if you have a gadget that can squeeze it for you? And so we're just going to be adding those, and when I tell you, the fresh lime juice is a totally different taste from the bottled lime juice. But use what you have access to. If you have it in your refrigerator, use that. Just use what you have. And so you see me adding one more squeeze of the lime, and then we're just going to go ahead and we're going to mix this up. And when I say mix it up, we're just going to make sure everything is stirred together. And I don't know why I was being a little bit dainty with this, but you want to make sure that you stir it and for everything to be combined. And so you're going to have a good, crunchy, sweet, tangy, and if you like pepper like I do, you won't see me add it here, but I had to add some of my red pepper just for a little bit of kick. So you're gonna mix that, make sure everything is combined how you want it to taste it. So here's the curry chicken that we seasoned and we put in the refrigerator the night before. Look at that. Let me tell you, this smells so good. So in your pot, not a pan, you want a good deep pot, and you're gonna add, I like to use grapeseed oil. I don't like olive oil. I don't like the taste. I don't like the scent. So another healthy oil that you can use is either the avocado oil or the grapeseed oil. I like grapeseed oil. It doesn't have a taste. It's not heavy and you don't smell it. So right there you saw me add about a tablespoon of curry powder. And what that's going to do is you're going to make sure that you get a little bit of color on it. This is something, and this is a process that you have to babysit. You cannot walk away from the stove because I promise you, it will turn on you real quick. So similar to like if you're going to do a roux, you can't just leave it. You have to babysit it and make sure you're stirring it constantly. And this is what I'm doing here. So I want the curry powder to get a little bit of nuttiness and to cook out so you don't taste it when you're having your curry chicken. And you could do this for anything that you're currying, that you're going to use the curry powder on. And you just want to make sure that it turns that beautiful nutty color. I've added the chicken to the pot, no water, and there's a reason for that. I'm just going to stir this, make sure everybody's in the pool, and then I'm just going to put a lid on this and let it cook on low heat for about 10 to 15 minutes. Alright, so here it is. After 10 to 15 minutes, look, that's the water that has been rendered from the chicken, and that is all the goodness. That's flavor down right there. Oh yeah, that is where all the flavor is. So we're just going to do a little something. We're going to add the water to this just to cover it a little bit. I don't know why I did that, but just to cover it a little bit. And then we're just going to put a lid on it and let it cook. Oh yeah, just let it cook. Let it do its thing. So you bump the flames up to about medium heat, and this is what you get after 15 minutes of cooking. Look at that. We're just going to stir it. And of course, for me, I like to check the flavor, the salt content as I cook. So I check along the way. I'm stirring it just to make sure everything is submerged and is cooking properly and evenly. And then guess what? We're just going to put a lid on this and get to our other dishes. Oh yeah. So along with this, I've got some sweet plantains to go with this meal. Look at those guys. And when you got plantains, you want to watch it because that sugar can cause them to cook real quick. And you just want them a golden brown. These bad boys are about to get out of this hot fat, all right? So let's check on our curry chicken. Look at that. About a half hour, maybe 35 minutes after cooking with the lid on. This is what you have. And we want to make sure that, again, it's cooking. So you want to stir it. Make sure you test for your taste. See the salt is okay. If you want to add some spice, you can add it in here. But I'm good with this. So I'm just making sure I'm doing a little test and everything. So we're going to make sure we have our potatoes and carrots ready. So there they are sitting, waiting on the side. And potatoes are like apples. When you peel them, they can turn on you. So I like to set them in some water, set them aside. And here it is. I've already been cooking this for about 40-45 minutes. So I've added my coconut milk because I like the taste of coconut milk in curry chicken. It gives us that smooth, silky taste. And look at that. I'm just showing you how the consistency of the liquid has changed. It has thickened, and this is about to be turned off. about an hour of cook time in total. And so right here, remember those potatoes and carrots that we looked at earlier? I'm adding them in. And I know you're saying, oh my God, that looks so thick. I like a thick potato and I like my carrots cut real thick. And I'll tell you why. I do not like mushy vegetables. So what I want to do is I want them to get in there, get tender in the last 10 minutes of cook time, and make sure that they still hold up. And when I say hold up when you're eating them for dinner or lunch, whenever you decide to do it. And if you have leftovers and you have to heat them up again, that they still hold its shape. It's not mushy, all of that icky stuff. So we're just gonna make sure we have everybody in the pool in this good old goodness of some curry chicken with coconut milk, and just make sure it's submerged. We're going to put the lid on it, check for tenderness in about 10 to 12 minutes, and when they're tender, you can turn the heat off and enjoy. And this is the final product: some coconut rice, our coleslaw, our curry chicken, and some plantains. Now, when I tell you this meal was thebomb.com/curry chicken with potatoes and carrots, that's what it is. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and bon appetit.